Well, I dug a little deeper on this story of Justin Carter, the teenager from Texas who was arrested and jailed for making a terrorist threat on Facebook. I dug a little deeper, found a couple of articles actually that used different wording than what I've seen out there in videos and what I also posted myself in reaction. So I don't know where the truth lies, but on the New York Daily News, in the New York Daily News, which I think came out today, on the 5th, July 5th, the actual comment that the actual quote they have from Justin Carter is, "I think I'ma shoot up a kindergarten and watch the blood of the innocent rain down and eat the beating heart of one of them." Now that's the quote that New York Daily Times has Justin Carter saying, having him typed into Facebook. And it was like I said, I mean, that's quite a bit different than, yeah, I'm so messed up in the head, or I think it was actually, I'm so fucked up in the head that I'm gonna shoot up a kindergarten or shoot up a school, elementary school, and eat their still beating hearts. I believe that was roughly the quote that I've seen around the internet. This quote is a little more in depth. It's a little different. And that's important. That's very important, because this boy is being judged, restrained, and arrested because of his words. So the actual words that he used are extremely important to pin down. There is a man, let's see if I can find that, a man named Ken Paulson, the president of the First Amendment Center at the museum in Washington, and he's also the dean of the College of Mass Communication at Middle Tennessee State University in Murfreesboro. And he has a quote, which I agree with completely. I agree with this idea. He says there are safeguards that should lead to a critical analysis of provocative speech. Absolutely. In other words, they need to critically analyze his speech to determine his intent. Did Justin intentionally threaten children? Was he intending to threaten children? And something that I find very disturbing, from having read about this was on a different site, and it was talking about what they had, what was in the court records, what was actually put into the court records. And actually, it wasn't what it was put into the court records, it was what was left out of the court records. And that was the actual provocative post that led to Justin Carter, making this comment. Apparently, the woman from Canada who turned him in sent a screenshot, and in the screenshot it had the prior comment, the comment that provoked this very controversial comment by this 18-year-old, now 19-year-old kid, Justin Carter. So I'm concerned that they're leaving things out. They're editing things. in the court documents. The court documents are not getting, they're not getting the full story. Or, you know, they don't appear to be getting the full story. When that happens, things can be slanted. A statement like this that is not in response to somebody making a comment about how fucked up a person is. Just a statement, an isolated statement like that out of the blue would be significantly different than a sarcastic reaction to somebody. And from the sound of it, and I don't know. I want to be a little less biased than, say, I was in my... I kind of made a joke about it earlier, but, well, I was serious about it, but I was sarcastic myself. I'm just concerned that this is being skewed against this boy by leaving out information or by changing the words that the boy used. Subtle changes can make a huge difference, and I hope that somebody will hold these people accountable to make sure that all of the evidence, everything, is brought to bear. So, and I'm also hoping that somebody out there with deep pockets, somebody out there who has compassion and a charitable heart and the money to do so, could help this family. This boy is still in jail as of this time. I just looked it up. Today's July 5th. Well, actually now it's July 6th. But of 2013. This boy is still in jail. He's still in jail. He's still suffering. By reports, he's been beaten several times. He's suicidal. He's on suicide watch. He's just being destroyed by this. And they're containing him in isolation, naked, for his own protection, which would be, the whole gamut of this is just trauma. I'm worried for this boy's life, first of all. I'm very worried for this boy's life, that he will even survive this, and that if he does survive it, that he will be okay, because he won't be the same boy coming out that he was going in. I have to say, I feel like our justice system way overreacts to things a lot of times. And I feel like their job is to catch criminals, but I think a lot of times they actually make criminals. They take people who are innocent, who have no intent, no criminal intent, and they imply intent. It's been done to me. I've had that done personally. I was arrested. I was arrested 2 years ago for something I didn't even know was wrong. And that's a story I'll go into another time. But I didn't know I was doing anything wrong. I had no idea that I was breaking a law, and no intent to break the law. But technically I did break the law, so I became a criminal. It's very sad. You can do all the right things. You can try to do all the right things. You can say something stupid. You know, I mean, we're human. We're all human. And this kid's a kid, you know? We just, the penalty for being human and the penalty for saying something dumb should not be your freedom. The reins are way too tight. Our freedom is greatly in peril. And that's at best. That's to say, you know, that's not even to say that we aren't past that point. It's very sad. It's very scary. So, this is really all I have to say. I just wanted to add this additional information that I found. But I also wanted to just plead to anybody out there on behalf of this family for anybody who might have the financial resources to help get this boy out of jail, get him out of harm's way, and take up the cause of protecting our freedoms, our freedom of speech. I also want to say one more thing. On the internet, people say all kinds of things, terrible things. I've seen people condemning an entire nation to death, to torture. I've seen people say, I'm going to kill this person, I'm going to kill you, you know, and all this. Horrible things, just god-awful things. It's trash talking. It's trash talking. And there has to be the ability to differentiate between trash talking and an actual threat. And this boy, Justin Carter, he's out on the internet, he sees this trash talking too. We've kind of become immune to it. I get on YouTube, I start reading comments. People are literally threatening each other's lives. And I've just sort of gotten used to it. I don't like seeing that. I think it's stupid. I think it's mean. But this is an anonymous place, basically, for you to vent your frustrations, and a lot of people do. And Justin really, I don't think, was any different than anybody else doing that. What he said wasn't, he didn't say, what he said was not good, but the intent, that's what matters. Was there intent? They have to look at that. We need to look at what people are doing and see if there was actually intent. Part of the law is intent. That's part of it. That's why the judges judge. That's what they determine. Was there intent? We need to make some evaluations of that beforehand, before we just put people's lives and their futures and their freedoms in jeopardy. So anyway, that's it. This was kind of eating away at me.